Okay,
Thank you.
we are recording. Awesome. That's the first time any of us have remembered in. Yeah. So welcome. We're going to go over smart plans today. If you've been in a smart plans class before, not a whole lot has changed, but there have been some decent changes since the last time we taught smart plans. And we're going to go through. And smart plans, of course, as Richie noted, they're all about, I just accidentally clicked into the wrong spot. They're all about automation and follow-up. So, when you've established a connection with somebody, you want to be able to contact them and follow up with them regularly in order to get their business. The thing is, if you don't follow up, if you don't have something like a smart plan, then you're going to the potential of missing out of actually following up with them is greater. So we want to go into smart plans and show you how, and we're going to also ask that everybody who's participating, if they don't have a smart plan running, to go ahead and start a smart plan and put yourself in the smart plan. So let's start with the actual quick basics, which is anybody who you're going to have on a smart plan, they're going to need to be in your contacts. So if you haven't done so already, take a moment and add yourself to your contacts. To do that, you click on the contacts button right here. You click add contact. You'll put in a full name, and that would just be the name that the person goes by, not necessarily their legal name. There is a space for their legal name under add more information. You're going to need an email and a phone number. Those are your basics, and we're not going to go into all of this today. That's your primary information that you want in your contacts. The more information you have about a person, the more you have to actually contact them about, right? So that's creating a contact. Now we'll go into smart plans. Smart plans are the little list with the asterisks down here at the bottom. If you ever need to know which ones are which, you click the KW once and it opens it up. Smart plans.
Do you like koalas, Nate?
Somebody does. I don't know.
Patsy does.
Patsy loves koalas. So,
and it was the stock picture on the computer.
So, so you see that this is the demo account, right? So there are a few smart plans that they're already on and have people assigned to. Let's go through all of the information you find in smart plans. So when you're in smart plans, you're landing the page that you go on to when you click on smart plans looks like this. It'll show all the smart plans that you have, and it will be pages worth at times if you do it. You'll have from the smart plans, you can look at them and you can find out this toilet paper updates construed. So it'll be a manual add smart plan, and it includes a phone call that is going to call this person out if they have any toilet paper in stock. It'll wait 6 days and then it'll send an email. It'll wait 1 day and it'll send a text message. It'll wait 8 days and it'll be a task to interact with them. Says to go visit Lowe's, and then it'll repeat. Now, a more legitimate smart plan might 8x8 new contact. So again, you're going to send a text. It's going to wait a week. It's going to have an interactive thing of maybe sending an email to grab a coffee, which could just be an email instead. It'll wait 7 days. You'll make a phone call. It'll wait 7 days. It'll send a text. and it'll just kind of keep. So you can see when you look at Smartplans, all the different different ways to touch people throughout the Smartplan. Next in line here, it shows who is assigned to the Smartplan. So I can see that on this one, if I click on the eyeball here and look, I can see that Daisy and Donnie Duck are assigned to the Smartplan. Okay. The date that you created it, the duration, how long it'll last. So this 8x8 will last 50 days. How many touches? So in that 50 days, how many times will you reach out to that person? And then here you can easily, so if you know, if you have a contact that you already know is in your contacts, and you can go straight here and just go, I want to put them in my 8x8. Let me just go add them. And so you click on add, and then you find the person and you put them on the Smartplan. You can edit the Smartplan as long as it's going to let me edit anyway. You can go ahead and edit a Smartplan if nobody is running on it. Like if nobody's actually active on the Smartplan, you can go ahead and change parts of it. Okay. And as you can see here, so you can only edit some things, but you can't add steps or delete steps or change the order of steps if somebody is already running the Smartplan, right? If you are, but you can change the text message or task descriptions and remove triggers if somebody is already running in the Smartplan.
There is a question in the chat about the automatic text that is, it just says, don't you have to have another platform or subscription?
Yes, and we'll get to that.
Okay.
It's called Twilio in order to send text automatically, and we will get to that here in a minute. Right now, I'm just going through what you see in the Smartplan so that we're not confused when we see it. And we'll definitely get into the weeds on how to do stuff. Next is this little 3 dots. When you click on that, it brings up, you can either copy the Smartplan, you could publish that Smartplan to the library, and you could delete it. But since it's active, you can't delete it. This one here, it's not active, I can delete it. The next little tab here is the published tab. Obviously, our demo account has not published any Smartplans yet. What you can do is you can create your own Smartplan from scratch, and we'll show you how to do that. You can create it from scratch, and if you find that it's working really well, you can go ahead and publish it to the rest of KW, and it'll be published in the Smartplans library. Okay. Next, let's look up here at the library. When you click on the library, you'll bring up all the Smartplans that have either been created by KW, which is the author right here, or you can see it's by other agents in the KW system. They have it divided by Keller Williams Smartplans, and there's only 10 of them, and the top Smartplans. You also have new Smartplans. So you can see top rated, they have 2,780 agents are using this 5x5x5 database touch right here, and it's averaged out from 40. It has stars, right? And then you can see these Wright brothers not in school Smartplans set up around unlicensed Wright brothers leads. I have no clue what that is. And they have created it, and it has 0, it's brand new, so it hasn't been reviewed yet. And it's authored by Pro Coach. Again, I don't know who that is. There's a French one, email red day in French. I think. So if you need one, go ahead and look. So what you can do if you are looking for a smart plan, let's just say you're looking for like a Facebook lead smart plan, you can go ahead up here and search in the smart plan names, and you can find some Facebook lead follow-up campaigns. You can filter it by how long a smart plan lasts. If you're looking for a specific person who's published it, how many touches are on it, how many agents are using it, and its rating. So you can filter through that to find any particular, like maybe you're looking for a specific smart plan or a specific type. So we see some here, how you can add yourself. So you can add a smart plan to your library by clicking Add Smart Plan. Well, you can name it, however, you can change the name if you want, and then you click Download. And then it adds. So when I go back over to my smart plans, there it is, my book ad follow-up. Now back in the library, other things you can do, you can explore the smart plan just like we did on that main page. If you go to this 8x8 new contact engagement, again, you can click View Steps, and it brings up all the steps. Let's look at one of these right here. This one here, view the steps on this 5x5. So it goes over 90 days. There are 7 steps and only 3 touches. So it's it's only asking you to do a few things. But the whole point is that once you put somebody on a smart plan, has a prompt to call the person, what it'll do is back on your home page or in your tasks, it'll show you that, hey, we need to call the person based on the smart plan that they're on. Of course, we're past due on this. I have not been calling Daisy Duck. So it's, it lets you know, it starts yelling at you. Okay. So that's the smart plan library.
Can you go back to the library and the view steps?
Sure.
Yeah, just any of them.
There you go. When you go, you see, of course, this one will last 24 days. It has 23 steps and 11 touches. The difference between a step and a step is send the text message and there's the delay. The delay is a step. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. See, it keeps going, right? But the touch is anytime it asks you that it actually reaches out to that contact. So the text is a touch, the phone call is a touch, the text is a touch, right? And this is basically just text and text, emails, and touch. So an email is a touch. Something to note too, when you hover over the step, the touch or the step, it'll tell you what this text message is supposed to say, right? So it'll say, hey, contact, clicking on the home I recently posted on Facebook. This adds your name with Keller Williams. Do you have any questions? And the like. A phone call, it just tells you to call, but it'll tell you what to call about. If it'll bring it up, it's not bringing that one up, but you can add notes about what the call will be about. And the email will show the whole email. Whenever I get there, it is. And then an email.
So this is important that if you're looking to add smart plans to your library, and like let's say you have a need for a Facebook follow-up one, and you know you want to call on days 1, 3, send text messages to, and then also follow up with an email on day 7. You'll be able to search through the library and then go to the view steps and actually be able to look at the specific steps so that to make sure that they're kind of what you want. Whenever you download it, you'll be able to edit it. So if the wording's slightly off, you can change a he to a she, an I to a they, however you want to do it, if you want some other specific text to it. But the view steps is really important to be able to choose the one that you want and have it be able to say the right structure and the right basic wording, because it doesn't really make sense to download a smart plan and then once you download it, you find out, hey, I don't want to send 8 text messages on days 2 through 4 and then not have one on day 4 through 7. So it shows you the breakdown and also the general wording, because some of the wordings will be different than what you'd like to use. So if you're going through it, it's real important to look at it, and then you can see and get a feel for what the smart plan actually looks like before downloading it.
All right, so let me show you how to create a smart plan. If you want to do one from scratch, it's also the same kind of thing you're going to do to edit a smart plan. So I'm going to create a new one. I'm just going to call this test smart plan, because I am not feeling creative today. Okay. So this is, you can call it whatever you want. You can always edit. Next things you want to do. So it'll have some tips and rules that can kind of guide you through when you're creating one yourself, including what it can't do. So you can't do multiple per day, essentially. I mean, you can do multiple per day, but you can't do more than 7 in a week. So you have different options. Creating a task will make it so that it can either be a touch or non-touch task. A non-touch task does not involve actually reaching out to somebody. So it might be that you're going to it might be that you're going to create a MLS search, right? Now, I know technically that does end up reaching out to them, but the whole point is in the smart plan, you're not going to try to contact them in any way. You can, if you need a hyperlink, you can do that. Okay. You click save. Then what you do, you would set the delay. The delay comes next. And you can do a minimum of a day, which means you can't do one each day, or you can't do more than one a day. And you can have a maximum of 30 days. Okay. So let's just do 1 day. Then you're gonna make a phone call. And you can make it due that day. And then, and by the way, so it's, when it comes to delays, it's gonna be, if you make it, you can delay it at the beginning, right? So I can say I add a person to the smart plan. As soon as you add them to the smart plan, if it's due in today, then it's going, when you add them to the smart plan, it's going to send out that text or email or prompt you to make the phone call or whatever that day. If you have a due in one day, it's going to transfer over to the next day, to tomorrow, right? Which means if I delay one day, it includes today as the one day. So if I say create an MLS search today, it'll wait a day, which means tomorrow it's going to tell me to make a phone call. Okay. And therefore it's going to be due that day. If I were to delay it, I don't know why that option is there, but it's going to basically say delay a day and then it'll be due in a day. That's your task manager, or whatever we call it. The thing to say, like, this is due today and tomorrow, and then it'll be overdue. Okay. You'll call this task a name because it's making a phone call. So it's a specific task call about buyer needs. And then okay, so you're going to give yourself a note as to what the conversation is going to be about.
I find it helpful as well to, can you go back up to the call? If
Yeah.
you're putting notes for yourself, give as much information as you can. So if you'll see the not the hyperlinks, but the little, so you can input, yeah, there we go. You can input fields in there. And so if it's make a call, it's helpful to put in their phone number there. If you care about first and last name, to be able to put in first and last name, so that you don't just see, hey, call John about this. You actually say, hey, call John at 843 whatever about what kind of house that they need to buy. And these, I forgot what the name of it, but the field inputs. So
Yeah,
if you for the smart plan,
called smart fields.
yeah, smart fields. So that is, and how you see how they're formatted in the brackets. That field will fill in with the information of the specific contact on the smart plans. So right now on the task description, the find out what kind of house they need to buy will be there for every single contact on that smart plan. But the phone number will change specific to the contact on the smart plan.
Yeah.
Can you add custom fields in the database and then it'll become a smart field here? Is that possible?
I don't think we can add smart fields.
Okay.
Not yet, at least. All right. Next is an email. Yeah, which backtracking a little bit. This is on day 2. So it will prompt you to make a call and email the same day, but it can set a specific, so you can your subject, and you can either do a simple email where you'll write it here. And again, you can use the smart fields to write your email. Now I'll note that the whole agent first and last name, if you're a solo agent, you don't necessarily need to worry about that. And the reason why is because you're the only one using this, right? So I would just go ahead, agent, just write in, hi, this is, whatever your name is. However, if you're on a team and you're an admin on a team, you can create this for the smart plan and be able to use it for everybody, and then you'll be able to just put these names in, and that way when it transfers over to the next teammate, it'll already be there. Be able to use the same thing if you were to put it into the smart plan library and share it with all of KW. You know, take your and put just the agent first and last name in there. Again, same kind of thing. And you have all of these kind of choices here. You write whatever email you want. You can add hyperlinks. You can adjust kind of basics of the email. So it doesn't have to be completely dry, but if you want to do anything more fancy, you go over to designs and you can select from a design template, or if you've created a design template, then you can use one of those. And we'll just do classic tax day. And then you can go in and you can edit it and make adjustments here. But dealing with emails is for another class. Of course, I lost my place. There it is. Go back and edit. Because I didn't save anything, it's all gone. So remember, save. This will save the entire thing and probably kick you out. As you create it, you can just click save here and that'll save it. But you have to complete the fields before you do. To MLS search. You can add their names again so that you don't. Now click save, it saves it. You can keep going, make a call. Oh, I'm gonna add a delay. Go up one. Okay, we're gonna add, we added the email, keeping going to keep showing stuff. Now the text. All right. So not subscribed to Twilio. Let's do a little brief sidetrack over to Twilio. I would suggest you read through the Twilio information. It even tells you how to set it all up and subscribe in Marketplace and how it works. But the basics are this. You'll subscribe to Twilio, and what it does is it sends notifications. If you have the Kelly app on your phone, whenever you get a text from somebody that's on one of these smart plans, or you send a text through when you send a text through Command, it will it'll show up in Command on the contacts information page, right? You can see all the notifications. What you do to use Twilio is you're going to end up signing up a and you'll pay $316 a month for up to 300 credits. One text is 1 credit. And so you can adjust it based on how many texts you think you're going to get. Go into the details so you can find out more information about that. And there is an opt-in, opt-out text that is sent through Twilio whenever you start texting them, texting client or texting people. You can see what the costs are, and how many you can get. I mean, you can get if you really want to. But essentially, if I go into a contact and I send somebody a text, you'll get a notification via email now that you've received a text in Command, and you'll get a notification through Command here in the little bell icon. Will note that you have a text that came in. And you can also read and continue texting back and forth with that person in Command. So you have, you can go ahead here, and I could press that, and I can send text with Twilio. But we don't have it set up here, so we don't do it. Give me 1 second. I'm running out of battery. So kind of the suggested way to deal with texting is this. So limit, so that you don't get a ton, limit your texting to the option text. And then what you do, once you receive a reply from them, go ahead and ask, go ahead and start text through your phone number, right? Through your text application on your phone, whether it's Messenger or if you're an Android user, whatever those, and then and just use that and just say, hey, this is my direct line. The other text came from my business line, or whatever you want to do. But there are ways to set it up so that you don't continue to text the contact through that Twilio line only. Use that as kind of your means to automate and reach out to them. And if you want to explain it in that detail, you can, but otherwise you're going to rack up the text if you don't.
If you don't want Twilio at all, most phones, you can now text through your computer. If you have an iPhone, if you have an Android, you can text through your computer. So if you set up the text message in in your smart plan, include the phone number to send it to, it's just a matter of 2 copies and pastes, and then you'll have the text message sent over. So if you're thinking, I don't want Twilio, but I also don't want to type out this long-winded text message on my phone every single time I need to text somebody something, or do it type up the same, like, hey, good, welcome to whatever, here's this, here's this, here's that. You can download, I think it's messages through Android or iMessage for iPhone. Download it to your computer, sync it to your phone, and be able to just copy, paste the text, copy, paste the number, send it off, you're done. There's no typing with your fingers needed.
Next, you can add the person to a smart plan. Just add a delay for fun. You can add them to the smart plan within the smart plan. So this is usually done kind of at the end. So let's just say we're going to spend 3 days reaching out to them with 4 touches. And at the end of it, you might move them to a different smart plan. And the reason why, so I'll use the example of, the classic Keller Williams instruction is that you put a new lead on an 8x8, touch them 8 times within 8 weeks, right? And after that, touching them once a week would be a little bit much. So you're going to add them to another plan based on how they reacted really to this 8x8. But you can make it automatic by just saying, like, after the 8x8, then we're going to put them on a 12, just a once a month touch, right? So if we're pretending this is an 8x8, at the end of it, we'd add them to, well, I wouldn't add them to any of these because that's only 8x8. So you're only going to add them like a 12, like there's a monthly market update that you could add them to based on their neighborhood. And you just need to make sure contacts that they have, I'll open that up. So you can add them to another smart plan at the end. And then, or you can restart. I mean, you can do both actually. You could restart the smart plan, right? Because the idea of restarting the smart plan is there, do you necessarily want to send the same text over and over again? No. So we'll get to that. So you can write down how many times you want them to keep repeating this, right? So if it's a birthday smart plan, you're going to want to go ahead and just put that on unlimited and just remind, and have the reminder to wish them a happy birthday every year, right? Some smart plans, you're only going to want them to go around a couple of times. Another way to make sure that when they go through a smart plan multiple times, that they're not getting the same information necessarily, is to create a dynamic message, which means you can have multiple text messages in the same stream, right? So one pass that they go through the smart plan, they're going to get test this message, and then the next one is going to be message this text, right? So and you can add more. You can add a whole bunch of them actually if you want to just kind of vary what kind of information, what kind of message you're going to send to them. And then once you've got it all saved, you click save. I didn't fill out the field. Erase these things. Command does a pretty good job of letting you know when you're wrong. And so you just have to go through and do it. Which one? This one. Because I have it on dynamic. Let's put it on static. Oh, okay. Well, they've changed it. So you have to use Twilio in order to text. If you don't want to use Twilio, what you'll do is you'll create a task instead. And that task will be a touch, and that task will be text this person. You'll write in the text that you want to do. And what you can do is copy and paste it, just like Talbert mentioned. Twilio, and it'll send out automatically. But right now, if you're going to send a text message, it's requiring that you use a Twilio account. You click save. Got to delete this one. If you want to delete something, there's a little delete at the bottom and you can delete it. Remove. If you want to move a step up the in the line, then you just click, get rid of this one. You just click up or down, right? It has to be at least a certain amount of time. I'm just not going to save it. I don't want to do that. So there we go. Any questions so far?
Just a quick aside, I was still able to add the texting action on my account. So I don't know why static and dynamic too, and I was able to save my test smart plan. So I don't know why that didn't save whenever you did it, but we can still use the Twilio, or I mean, still use the text action if you don't have Twilio, static or dynamic.
There you go.
All right, I had a question. Can you make the smart plan automatically send a postcard or do something like that?
No, nothing that's going to require physical anything, like a phone call. It won't automatically make a phone call for you. Won't automatically I mean, what you can do is if you need to send a postcard, again, you create a task and you call the task, send the postcard. And then you can write in what kind of postcard you want to,
Gotcha.
or have a link to postcards that you regularly use, and you just click that link yourself and go send the postcard. It's kind of one of those things that'd be a little bit too complicated because there's a lot of details in that would have to be covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just don't, it doesn't get that complicated. But you can basically do just about anything, because you can create a task for it so that you're reminded to do that.
And you can
Create the MLS search either, right? It can't, it has to work within the command system.
Yeah, that makes sense. Could you send someone else the task to do something?
No, except for an email or a
Yeah,
text.
If you have an EA, you can automate it so it's send them an email to, hey, send this person this.
Yeah.
But another person would have to be involved.
Yeah.
And so you can
Yeah,
send an email or a text message reminder to add the other person to the MLS to, hey, send this person a flyer or a note card or whatever.
Yeah.
the problem is that you're usually, what this is meant for is for you to add the contact that you have. Like, so if Talbert's my client and he's in my contacts, I'm going to add him. I'm going to add Talbert as my contact.
Yeah.
So all of the phone numbers and emails and stuff that are assigned to that plan are assigned to Talbert. So I can't create an email in this smart plan that to Talbert. I can't send an email to Samantha to say, hey, please text Talbert, or send him a postcard. So you're probably just going to have to if you're going to automate it using other people, either they're going to have access to your command to be able to see the tasks that are required of them, or you're just going to have to create another system where it automates for them to do it.
Okay.
Good questions, though.
There was also a good input in the chat. That is a team command function. If you need to request to create a team account or add a user to your team, email Tiffany, and they have a little bit different, the team accounts have a little bit different connectivity and use for outside users. Because yeah, this is just right now, as we're saying, for an individual agent for one person, basically.
Yeah, team smart plans can add a bunch of stuff. So you can assign a smart plan to a particular person, but you would basically be assigning. So if Richie, if you and I were on a team and Talbert was our client, and I wanted you to take care of Talbert, then I would assign you Talbert's contact and set him up on the smart plan there. As an admin or Rainmaker, I could create that. And you can then, that's why it has, this is so-and-so from, where's that email? Set that up. That's why it has the option of, this is Richie from the, from the Richie team. All right, so what we're gonna do in the last 10 minutes, if you haven't ever set up a smart plan before.
Did you go over trigger event too?
Oh yeah, forgot about that because that's a new thing and it's bigger. So you can add a trigger event once you've added all of your, once you've added all of the pieces to your smart plan, the steps, you can add a trigger event. It could be that instead of manually adding them to each smart plan, what you can do is set up a tag. So when you create the contact, you can tag to them, right? It could be friends and family. It could be a buyer, could be seller, right? So I can add a tag as the trigger. So if I go in and I put that they are a buyer, this is the trigger. So I add that, right? So anytime when I create a contact, if I add the tag that they are a buyer to the contact, they will automatically start being added. They will automatically be added to this smart plan, right? So right now, you have to create it from there from when you create the contact. The goal is, and I'm not 100% sure, I looked it up and now I can't remember, but if you get, for example, a Facebook lead, a lead will be automatically entered into your contacts, but it won't necessarily be automatically tagged, right? Once it can automatically be tagged, and if anybody has heard otherwise, you can correct me, that'd be fantastic. But once it's automatically tagged, then you can, once they can automatically be tagged, then they can automatically be added to the, so that you don't have to go in at all and redo it. And so that would be a goal. But as of right now, to my knowledge, you still have to add a tag so that they'll be put into the smart plan. When you get a Facebook lead, you want to add a tag anyway so that you know where they got them. So make it easy for yourself. All right, last 5 minutes, we're going to quickly, everybody, go ahead and get your computer and go to Command and get into Smartplans, and you're going to add yourself to a smart plan. To do that, again, anybody not have themselves as a contact in Command? Anybody? Everybody has themselves as a contact in Command? That's great, because anytime you get something new or trying something new, test it on yourself or somebody who won't hate you for doing that. So go ahead and test it. So go ahead and go to, since you as a contact, go ahead to go to Smart Plans, go to the Smart Plan library. Make sure you find a smart plan that you like. And I'm just going to suggest the birthday, where is it? Birthday smart plan. Go ahead and add the birthday plan. Oh, I already have it in there. My birthday smart plan. Go ahead and edit it to make sure it's all what you like it to be. It's basically send a handwritten note, to make a call, create a task, of put a social post, send a text that says happy birthday. And that's it. It's nice and easy. So then what I want you to do is yourself and send and add yourself to the task. So where is it? I'm going to add a contact. Put myself on it. Add. Confirm. And it's that easy. All right. Awesome. Well, everybody, any other comments or tips, Talbert or Samantha?
No, let us know if you have any questions, need any help setting up smart plans, otherwise getting the text messages going.
All right. Awesome. Well, any final questions with the last couple minutes that we have? Excellent. Well, everybody, unless there's anything else, thank you guys so much for joining us. I hope it was helpful. And yeah, like Talbert said, give Talbert a call. You can call me too. But Talbert is the tech trainer for our market center, and he has set office hours to to accommodate you if you want to get in, if you need any like individual help for anything. Okay. Awesome. Thanks so much. Thanks, Richie, for joining us. And we'll see you guys around the office.